Okay, needless to say, I kind of planted my zero in the ground. Nothing like flying really low, really fast, and this is what we wound up with here. First thing you want to do, most of all, is make sure you got all the pieces, even the little ones. That part right there holds the front wing to the front of the fuselage. As you can tell, this is a prop here. Zero in real quick for you, and you can see it. This prop is absolutely unusable. It was bent, so don't try to get off cheap by trying to bend it back and putting it on the airplane. It's rather dangerous at this point. My suggestion is to go ahead, go to your favorite hobby shop or head over to Amazon and order some and have a nice supply on hand, because more than likely that you too will crash your airplane into the ground. So we'll just go ahead and trash this one off to the side. There was a clean break over here. This piece here comes right off the front of the cowling, and as you can tell, this is split. So we have some clear packing tape we're going to put on that. I've already looked at the motor. Still spins freely. All the connectors are good. There's nothing tore up. And I did inspect the battery. That's the first thing you need to do if you ever face plant this into the ground. You need to double check and make sure it isn't damaged, because they will catch on fire. So this wasn't going fast enough to destroy the battery, but I keep an eye on it. Stick it off to the side. One thing you can do is to remind you that battery may be a problem, is I put a little red mark on my battery there. Lets me know that this battery was in a plane crash. Then I'll probably use it last if you don't have a whole bunch of these. So what we're going to do, the wing came out okay. There's no, let me zoom back out. The wing came out of it okay, other than the little piece needs to be replaced here, glued back on. The ailerons, can't pronounce that correctly, are okay. And the little piece of rubber here that holds the wing to the fuselage is not damaged at all. Receiver's okay, and your servos here are just fine. But we'll check that out again once we get the battery, get everything put back together and reassembled. But just because you crash it doesn't mean you need to throw it away. Just go ahead and glue this thing back together, and we'll get her back in the air again. So as we can tell here, we had just a clean break here on the engine cowling here, and so if we just go ahead and play with these parts and set them back together like this. I'll stick this back here. It works out of the way. It looks like everything's going to go together quite nicely. The trick here is, since I'm going to be using CA glue, is to make sure that the glue that you're using isn't going to destroy your airplane. Now, I haven't had very good luck with the Instacure. This kind of seems to eat up the foam, but I have had good luck with the Super Gold, and this is what we're going to use here. If you're in any doubt or have any questions about whether or not the glue is going to destroy your airplane, you're going to take a small drop and place it somewhere that's out of sight, and see what happens. If it starts dissolving the foam, get your paper towel and wipe it up real quickly. And don't use that glue. But I know right now that the Super Gold does quite well, and this is what I'm going to use to put it back together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the medium gap filling glue here, and I've got 4 break points here, 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 and here, and that's where I'm going to apply the glue. Be careful not to get it on the wires. Be very generous. As you can see, there's nothing dissolving at this point. And then we'll just go ahead and put it together. Hold some pressure on it till it sets. Clean up the excess here. Okay, well, this is gap filling. It takes a little while to set. So I'm going to go ahead and use some Insta-Set on these joints here. There. There. So we got those two to set real nice. And we'll just wait for the other part here to start drying. And there we go. This thing's completely dry. We'll go ahead and test it by try to put on a little bit and see if it stays put together. Okay, the next thing that needs to be fixed is the cowling. As you can tell, it didn't fare very well, but this is going to be really hard to glue, so we're not going to glue it. So what we can do is we can use some clear packing tape, or you can use some Scotch tape. So I'm going to go with Scotch tape. Just pull a little bit out. This sets real nice in here. And that makes a nice little repair. Do it from the inside and you really can't tell it from the outside. Okay, the next thing needs to be repaired are these two little pieces here. This one little piece here on the port of the wing that fits in the notch here on the fuselage onto the cowling. And that needs to be put back in, or else you won't have any way to set your wing. So again, we're going to add a little bit of CA glue in here. Be kind of generous, so it's not going to dissolve the foam. I'm going to put this piece in, press and hold it. Take a little of the Insta-Set spray. It'll help set it. This thing does kind of have a smell to it, so I like to kind of clean it up as quickly as possible. Yeah, that looks like it set quite nicely. Okay. Alright, so we'll let this thing set up for a little bit more. We'll come back and reassemble it. Everything's glued back like it is. Again, on your propellers, if they look like they're damaged, and especially with these, you can tell the discoloration. And if you think it still looks straight, I will not ever use these again. They're only a couple bucks, so it's just worth just throwing them away. If you find yourself face planting this airplane a lot, this does come with a spare nose cone. You just can't put it on the airplane and have it sit there. You're going to have to glue it in there. But I think I'll just leave these off a while I'm flying, and whenever I get ready to stick it up on the shelf, I'll go ahead and put it back on. So let's let it dry up real well, and we'll come back and look at it again. Okay, so let it sit for a minute or two. This piece is nice on there, nice and tight. It's not even loose a little bit. The cowling. Is on there nice and tight. This is a good repair. So what I want to do is, at this point, is to slide the wiring back up into the cowling. ESC. Like so. And we'll slide that right there. The rubber band here, well, it's a real thick rubber band, is on there quite nicely. It's not damaged. We're going to kind of tilt it forward. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach. Holy crap, that is not good. Okay, we've got the aileron plugged into the servo. And we're going to go ahead and reassemble it. Make sure all the wires are in. Nothing's hanging out. Battery wire right there. Do our little tool that we swore up and down we'd never lose. And we're going to hook that rubber band right on that notch right there. Okay. So we got the battery connectors there. And we're going to go ahead and put our cover right back onto our cowling. This part right here is the one that goes to the bottom. Everything kind of lines up like it's supposed to. Just press it on. And now we just need to go ahead and put the propeller on, and we're done. There you go. Nice and fixed. Ready for another flight. So, you know what? So what if you crash it? Go ahead. Get you some foam-friendly CA glue. Super Gold is what I use. And go ahead and put it back together. Okay, we'll go ahead and put the propeller on. It's real easy to follow. If you've got the, you can't see it, but if you just run your finger across here, you have the writing, raised writing. You know that's the front of the prop. Now these parts here are starting to become hard to find, especially if you try looking on Amazon. The servo that I had replaced with the ailerons was discontinued, so I had to use some of my backups that I had purchased last year. I was going to use that on another project, so it looks like I need to find a substitute for that one. So if you see them out there, good luck. If you don't, you're going to have to be a little bit creative on what you do on replacing these parts. See, on another thing about this prop here, you'll note, you probably can't see it, but you have your recess point here. It's round. That's for the washer. And you have on the back of the prop what looks like a hex nut. This goes to the back. So I've already gone ahead and taken the bolts and the wash off. I'm fixing to put those back on, like so. Kind of small. We're going to tight, but not too tight. I think everything's fine at this point. Now normally you'd probably use a little bit of CA or a little bit of hot glue to attach this on here. But I'm just going to leave that off since I tend to hit the ground a lot, and I'll just use this for a static display. So there you go. We went from pieces back to repair. And we're going to take this back out to the field and see if we can get it flying again. Thanks for watching our videos.